Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. This is a Sunday night cop. I'm Gav. That's Emmet. That's Keith. Apologies for the delays. It's all my fault. I'd like to say Keith was just off a plane back from Liverpool, and we had to wait for him to rush back to the house. But that's not true. Why is Keith fucking? Why are you doing?
Waving.
Why are you doing that
It's,
special
it's
wave?
like that wave your man did on, what was
Yeah,
it, winning streak?
yeah. Yeah, man, a winning streak when he won the car.
Anyone that's not familiar, Google man waving on winning streak and
Oh, it's phenomenal
enjoy
stuff.
yourself. Fill your
Oh,
boots.
it's I could talk about it for an hour. I'm not gonna lie, but we can't because last week Keith tried to throw us off the scent by talking about the music and how he'd left music behind a little bit. But we're back. The Reds are fucking back. They've won a game of football. Do not adjust your screens. Liverpool have won a game in the Premier League, and Keith was there to see it. But I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Keith, because I want to ask you something very particular. Emma, stop yawning.
Yo,
Come on, Emma.
sorry, I'm a tired lad.
Tired lad. We're only 3 minutes in. Come on. 1 minute 22 when we are. Emma, it wasn't vintage from Liverpool, but it looked a bit more like Liverpool.
Yeah, do you think they watch this podcast? Because it's
Um,
everything we spoke about.
right.
More intensity,
We're like the
look
Bernie
after the
Stokes
ball.
of podcasts.
Yeah, move it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was a lot more perfect than the previous 4 or 5 games.
hmm
And it's going in the right direction. I would take more from it. I think I said this yesterday. I would take more from yesterday's game than I will do the Frankfurt game. Um, I just think Villa were on the longest winning streak, 4 games. We were on the worst losing streak. So it was never going to be an easy game. Villa fans will tell you, because I've listened to a few bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's Villa are always the team that put teams back in form. Apparently,
Okay.
yeah.
You listen to the Villa
So
podcast, are you?
Yeah,
no doubt,
I listen to
no
the boys.
doubt. Now, obviously, they didn't predict that. They clearly wouldn't have predicted that they would beat us, would they? But I went back and watched one of his videos, and they predicted that they beat us. So which is it? But anyway, no, I take a lot of positives from it. There was it looked a lot more Liverpool. I don't want to only put it down to Gravenberch. I do think an awful lot has to do with Robertson. I just think we look a little bit more secure at the back. I think maybe Van Dijk is probably preoccupied nursing Kirkes through games, to have his old kind of buddy beside him probably helped. But we were winning second balls. The second goal actually comes from winning winning a long ball, was supposedly our kryptonite, and then winning a second ball. So it's a lot better than it has been. But far from vintage Liverpool, but a lot more like Liverpool.
Keith, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I seen the lineup coming out, I'll tell you straight. I thought, what are we doing here? And the proof of me in the pudding by moving forward. What does he do with regards to the lineup? Because I just thought to myself, I keep using the word panic, but I thought to myself, is he panicking here again? He's picking. All right, Gravenberch's back in. Szoboszlai has been excellent. But he's going with Gakpo and he's going with Salah, but he's going with McAllister, who's looked way off it, and we all know he's one of your best favourite players, and you've been saying he looks like he's pulling a fucking truck around the place. And I did look at it and think to myself, is this panic? Is he reverting back? Is he going away from what he wanted to do here? But the proof will be in it if he starts to integrate. Everts a little bit more, and Isak comes back, and we start integrating players more and start slowly turning to where we want to be, but just in a hybrid sort of way rather than straight into what formation we want. But so I'm not going to lie, I did look at the lineup and went, fuck. You know what I mean? I pray for this fucker now that this goes right. But just the first I want to ask you about it, because I've seen a few people talking about it, the atmosphere in the ground. The atmosphere from start to finish sounded really good. It was a little bit of a show of defiance, I think, from Liverpool fans were in the ground. There was a big support for Salah, for Van Dijk, for your Robertsons, and for Arne Slot, especially near the end. It must be big for them players, Keith. You're in the ground, but it must be big for them players to be walking off with a win and knowing that this fan base they'll back you. And don't worry, don't worry about fucking 4 or 6 losses in 7, but we'll back you. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll get it right. We have the patience to know you'll do it right, because the atmosphere looks fantastic, Keith.
The atmosphere was excellent, and I think I asked you in the WhatsApp, did it come across on the telly? Because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you'll be watching a match, and we be in a WhatsApp group and say that atmosphere looks shy, but one of yous or Sean, he could be at it, and he like, no, it's quality. You know what I mean? So it doesn't always come across, but it was excellent, and it was just an atmosphere of support. Now, when the teams dropped, and you'll know the Wi-Fi in Anfield is fucking terrible, like so. It's nearly like the olden days when someone has a radio and the lineup comes and it spreads around the ground, you know, where it doesn't start, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of talk about the lineup and people were worried about it, but from the very start of the game, that was all sort of, well, the players were warming up. As soon as the game started, the fans were supporting them. They were on it. It wasn't one that was sort of, it did take an incident to light the touch paper, but even before that, it was a good supportive atmosphere. They were singing for Salah, they were singing for Slot, they were singing for everyone. You know what I mean? Andy Robbo, they were singing for Conor Bradley, they were singing for everybody. You know, and it was a game that from the very start you knew was right. The crowd are on it here. It seems like it's good. The incident where I think it's Onana goes off the pitch, rolling around,
they were like, "Why aren't we starting this fucking game again?"
Well, when that happened, the place just erupted. Van Dijk was running amok at the ref. That ref, I'm going to say it, we won the game. He is the most inept ref in the Premier League. I hate referees.
They're all shy.
No, they are all shy, but he is the most useless ref. I was looking at it and I seen him warming up. Stuart Atwell, I says, oh, not this prick. He came to fame. His first thing when he was a young ref was he gave a ghost goal in a Reading or something game years ago. Didn't go near the goal and he gave it as in. He's just absolute pony. And his handling of that game yesterday,
corner and he just went past the post and everyone thought it was a goal. Yeah,
goal, and he gave it. And from that moment on, he's absolute shy. They're all brutal, right? They're all brutal, but he just seems like he doesn't have any grasp. Villa, obviously, time wasting from the very start, and that gets the crowds back up. And sometimes that can get the crowd where it just seeps frustration, but it didn't go like that. It was, like I said, there was a good atmosphere in the crowd, and then it became where Atwell, with that little spark, Atwell cranked it up a notch, and it was like hostile, but positive hostility, if you know what I mean. Like they used it well. It was very good.
It was nearly like Atwell went, he's got pushed into the boards. It's not his fault, so I'm going to let him get treated. I'm not going to start the game again. Whereas if he ran into the boards himself, he would have went, listen, you're off the pitch, we'll play. It was like he was trying to do Villa a favour.
Yeah, exactly. And Van Dijk stormed up. I'm sure you've seen that on the telly. Van Dijk just marched straight up. He's screaming at me. You could hear him like from all the way, just absolutely tuned the ref over, and that just got everybody's whipped up all the fans into a frenzy, because there was other incidents. I think John McGinn pushed Ebo into over the Horden at one stage as well. They give nothing, you know what I mean?
Ashley's talking here about the please talk about the red card at some point, because I'm still scratching my head. This is the one where Onana grabs McAllister by the throat.
Yeah, but even that incident, like, I'm obviously looking at it. I'm sitting in the lower Kenny, 10 rows back between the halfway line and the Anfield Road end. So sort of looking in at that, and there's just 10 players surrounding.
Were they the Deco tickets?
Yeah, so you know the seats, right? Yeah. Great seats, right?
Yeah.
So the Marmadashvili is just getting surrounded, and you're like, this fella is just letting, carnage go on in the box. He had no authority, no control. And then you saw McAllister down. So obviously I'm at the game. I didn't see replays. I'm like, Jesus, what's after happening there? It was only when I seen it back, it's like, right, there probably should be a red card. I don't think it deserved rolling around for that long, but it was definitely a forceful grab of his throat. I actually thought Onana was probably their best player on the day.
Yeah, he was good.
Decent.
Rodgers was good as well, in fairness.
Rodgers was okay.
Half, I thought he was good.
He was all right. I think I seen a few messages were coming through, intermittently on the WhatsApp when the Wi-Fi had come up and people thought Rodgers. I was looking at it thinking, he's all right. He's a big fucker. He is an absolute unit when you see him. Broad and tall, like he's a very, very big player, Rodgers. I like him. He's a good player, but I just didn't think Villa were great. I thought they were just set out to time waste and frustrate, and it just never worked for them. I thought Liverpool from the very start. Now, I don't know if you picked her up. Ebu started off playing terrible, and he got chewed out of it at the start by Van Dijk because he made a scuttery ball to someone. Then Szoboszlai and Gravenberg chewed him out because he got the ball and didn't play it up the line, turned back and was playing too safe, and they were eating him. He got out about 3 or 4 times at the start in the first maybe 20 minutes by the players. Him and Bradley, I thought, started off a little bit sloppy in the game on that side, but they grew into it, and Villa, they didn't really have much of a threat. But yeah, I just thought the atmosphere was brilliant. I thought the team fed off the crowd fed off the team and the ref, and it was just one of them sort of perfect storms. Do you know what I mean? That just had everybody. It was, Mo Salah's best game all season.
Yeah,
I thought he was
by a
excellent. Oh, he was excellent. It was like watching the Salah of old. And I've been super critical of him. My son even said it to me at the time. He goes, "You're always giving out about Salah lately, and now you're saying he's brilliant." Everything he done was positive, and he was getting on the ball, and he was beating players. And again, the seats, the Deco seats, the first half of the game, you're right above where Mo Salah is.
Salah's right beside you.
He's right beside you for the whole game.
Yeah.
And when you see, and I'm sure you have all seen, we've all spoke about this, the amount of times he gets pulled and dragged and hit and kicked and fucking everything else and doesn't get free kicks. When you see it up that close, it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
like the number of times it happened when they're dragging and the linesman is looking straight at it.
They literally, what they do is they stand behind them, and then what they do is when the ball comes into him, they literally get both their hands, they put them over the top of his shoulders, and they just press on his chest while dragging him backwards. And he's like, anything happening here now?
But it's not even. It's not even on the slide.
I remember being at Anfield, and we were playing Champions League last season. Was it? Did we play Bologna last season? No,
we did. Yeah,
I can't even remember who we went to watch. And I'm standing in the lower Annie, and I'm watching this, right? And I swear to God, this ball was getting played up to Salah, right? Just on this point. And the guy, I swear to God, the guy literally put his arms under Salah's armpits, right? And literally tried to put him in a full Nelson, right? Or a half Nelson, or whatever the fuck you call it, right? And at the same time, just start walking back towards his own goal with Salah in his arms. And Salah's trying to get to the ball, and Salah's trying to, if the ball can get to me, I can do something. And then your man just collapsed to the ground, and the referee blew and gave a free to the defender. It was unbelievable to watch when you're standing 10, 15, 20 feet from it and going, what is going on here? But I thought he was so strong. I thought he was so strong yesterday.
Oh, he was absolute vintage yesterday, and that's the thing that stood out for me with him. Like, he didn't get, it wasn't like a Salah game where he's just running amok and he's getting bleeding 3 goals or whatever, and it's, applauded off the pitch. But it was the type of performance that, if he builds on that, he gets back to the Salah from the start of last season. He was looking for the ball, he was attacking them, he was taking them on, skill. It wasn't all, pedestrian, one-dimensional. The way he has been, he's not been involved in games. He was so involved. But, again, it's just so frustrating, man, that pulling and dragging out of him. I was sitting beside a woman, and she was like a woman in her 50s. And the roars over, like, every week he gets this. She was running amok. Like, it was brilliant.
And to be fair, if you're sitting there every week, he is. Yeah. You're watching the same thing.
Because it's right under you. And that's what she said. She says, every week we're looking at it. The linesman is right in front, like, literally looking at it. And it's like, how the fuck is he not seeing this? But it was the officiating was an absolute disgrace yesterday.
It's mad. When you're sitting in them seats, literally, the 2 people that are in your eye line for most of the game is the linesman and Mo Salah. Yeah. And when it happens, you're like, you can clearly see this. Yeah. Like, you can clearly fucking see it, but it's mad. But
the same liner was flagging for throw-ins down the other end in the second half, that he can't see. Yeah. And giving them against Liverpool. And I'm like, how the fuck are you saying you can see? Because I could see a clear one that went out, should have been a Liverpool throw, and he flags the other way for a Villa one. And he's up the other end of the pitch. And you're like, so you can see that, but you can't see Mo Salah getting fucking absolutely violated when he's insane. 2 yards in front of you.
It's insane.
It's wild.
If you do, because I know Emmet likes to do this. Emmet likes to do this thing where he watches certain players for certain periods of games, and if you actually, you just laugh your head off if you watch Salah, especially if he's in a battle with a left back. It just becomes like, this is actually laughable now. What's
Yeah.
going on? But Emmet, Keith says there, Salah, he looked, I'm not going to say back to his best, but he looked more involved. He looked like the Salah of old, and I've been banging on about Liverpool a couple of things. Holding on to the ball, moving it that little bit faster when you're holding on to it, but not being in a fucking mad rush to terrorise yourself to go forward. And I thought we seen that from Liverpool yesterday. I thought we seen where it could have been, in weeks gone by, you would have been like, oh, I have to get it to him now. And Liverpool were like, no, it's grand. Don't see the opportunity. We are assessing risk and we are assessing opportunity much better for me yesterday. So, and I think that brings Salah into the game, because what happens is, instead of us going, go on, Salah, get it, and run with it, and we'll all just fucking tear forward, it leads to structure. It leads to, someone says there, Arch says, Dom makes those runs and it naturally suits Salah having that movement in front of him, plus provides natural cover too. And Andy Robertson spoke about structure, and we could have read it both ways, Emmett. But when you talk about structure, it's about with and without the ball. It's about picking your times. And going back to Slot at the very start, Slot spoke about being in attacking positions and going, I can hit that ball, but I don't know where it's going to work. Let's assess the opportunity, and then let's move it again. And I thought Salah came into the game way more hasty, because it wasn't helter-skelter, frenzy, run forward. Like, even near the end, I remember one where we could have went forward. We just went, no, come on, back and play again. That suited him down to the ground yesterday, what we were trying to do.
It was a lot more controlled. I just think we were guilty of, the last couple of weeks, was forcing it a bit too much. It was like, we were making passes that were probably never going to come off. Yesterday, and I get like people saying, oh, if you move it faster, that means that you're attacking more and then you're going to get caught in the break. You can move the ball fast without moving forward. Like, just move it. Like little triangles. You saw it yesterday. There was some absolutely lovely football yesterday in the midfield between the likes of Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister. Just bang, bang, bang. One and two touch football that we've probably not seen. Like, we were getting caught on the ball and being turned over, or we were trying to play a pass that was never going to get to the person and we were being turned over and being broken on. Yesterday just seemed like I don't want to say it clicked, because of course it clicked. It's the same team as last year. They're so used to each other, bar maybe Ekitike. But it was just refreshing to see. And I think by moving it faster, and we've said this going back 2-3 years, we look a hell of a lot better and we look a hell of a lot more threatening when we move the ball quicker. There's been times where we've been moving the ball.
Sorry, I just want to qualify this. Quicker in the sense of, listen, when you're passing that ball 15 yards, fizz it to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the sense of passing faster and running
just
the pitch.
getting it out of your feet and getting rid of it.
So, exactly. And what that's led to, and we've spoken about it, is getting the ball and just rushing a pass. How many times have we passed the ball straight out of play this season? Yesterday it was like you said, they were zipping the ball into feet. It was getting to feet. We were holding on to the ball. It was going back. It was just little layoffs. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas we were holding on to the ball previously, it just looked like it was, like I said, it wasn't marauding forward. Now, there were times that we did, particularly in the second half. But in the first half, it was like bang, bang, bang. And then like a quick pass might have gone back 5 yards. But it was just holding onto the ball and moving it that bit quicker. And that obviously makes the opposition stretch the opposition as well. And I just think that Salah probably benefits from when we move the ball quicker. When he seemed to have been receiving the ball like flat-footed over the last few weeks, where he was actually receiving the ball to his feet while he was moving yesterday. And that's kind of gets it. He kind of drops the shoulder and he's going across the edge of the box. You saw that about 2 or 3 times yesterday.
He skimmed in you with a nutmeg on one. It came into him. It came into him sharp.
Or he goes to meet it and then he drops and spins and he's down the line. You saw it. You haven't seen that in a long, long time. It just looked yesterday, like I said, I don't want to say like the old Liverpool. Like people say, "Oh, Liverpool back." We were never going away. It was a blip, for Christ's sake. Like, do you know what I mean? These players don't just turn into shit players over the course of a couple of weeks. They just lost their way a little bit. Now, I agree with you, Gav, is that when you look at the lineup yesterday, it's literally a lineup from last season, bar Ekatike. So now his job is to work these players into this team. And maybe he tried to do it too quickly at the start of the season. We were just scraping by. Maybe it's a case of Kerkers needs to become, and I get that Robbo's probably not going to be able to do Madrid and
And he was
then possibly do City.
he was excellent.
Oh, he
Robert.
was unbelievable. Yeah,
Robert
and,
was brilliant.
possibly bar a deflection probably could have scored. He kept inverting into this kind of like centre forward position at one stage in the first half. But I just think that Kirk has a probably benefit from the treatment that Robbo got when he first came in, where it took him about 3 or 4 months to get into the team. I think Kirkes has been thrown in. Frimpong has been thrown in. You've got Verts in there as well. And there's probably, we spoke over the summer about too much change. I didn't think there was any issue with the too much change, but it's how are you going to integrate them into the team? And I think he just went, bang, there's all our, you're all starting. That probably wasn't the best way of going about it. So I
It
think
wasn't just personnel, it wasn't. It was formation changes as well, and he was just trying to change too much.
Yeah, too
Integrate
much too
6 new
fast, I
players,
think.
but it's a new system that
Yeah,
didn't suit a
Like,
lot of the ones.
no, I don't think anybody have an issue with like, and I get that. Like I said, Robertson's probably not going to be it. I'd love to see Robertson start against Real Madrid. I'm not sure whether he's going to. That'd be his third start in the space of a week, less than a week, 6 days. Carling Cup or the Carabao Cup yesterday, and Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it? We're playing Madrid Tuesday.
Yeah, I think Kerkers will play that, and I think
Yeah,
Andy Robertson will start at Man City.
yeah.
So I think we'll probably see. Well,
but nobody's going to be against Robbo maybe doing 60 minutes and Kirkes coming on.
yeah, but
Or
but
vice versa.
But hold on a minute. Look, right. You've made a point there, right? Andy Robertson played yesterday. He was inverting going into the centre forward position, and he was doing this and he was doing that. Honest to God, Kerkes comes onto that pitch, and we decide, no, you're not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And what we've done is last season when we were watching Robertson, he was probably doing too much of this, trying to run outside Diaz all the time. And what was happening was it was forcing Diaz into cul-de-sacs where when he stood back and played a bit more football with Diaz, one-touch stuff, it then exploited their fullback against Diaz, right? Or Gakpo. We're getting one-on-one. Just by his clever movement rather than being held for, going hell for leather down the left wing and trying to get beyond them and stuff like that. So if you watch Robertson to Kerkes, I think it's night and day as to what they're allowed to do when they're in this team. Now, that's part of reverting back to yesterday and reverting back to that team and saying, right, we're going to do this and we're going to stick Gravenberch in there and we're going to have McAllister and we're going to have Szoboszlai. Now, a lot of people will say, well, where do you get Verts in? Well, you can get Verts in because if you want to play Verts instead of, say, McAllister in that team, okay, you say to Szoboszlai, you need to drop just that little bit deeper. We don't mind you doing what you're doing, but you have to drop that a little bit deeper. And Verts, you're going to have to do a little bit of work. Verts come on yesterday and ran the fucking legs off himself, by the way.
Yeah,
he didn't come on and go, I'm a 10, we're winning 2-0, give me the ball. He fucking ran left and right and up and down. And to be fair, he should have been in on goal. Salah should have put him in late in the game where he had the chance and he tried to go the other way. And I was kind of going, can you please pass it to that cunt so he can score?
Yeah.
But
it's just about getting the monkey off his back now, isn't it? Him and Isak
where,
just need to get a couple of goals.
I said it. He better come out with 4-3-3 on Wednesday night. Right? Tuesday, Wednesday night. He better come out with 4-3-3. Okay? And say to himself, I'm going back in the same way. Right? Now, if he wants to do it and say to himself, but I'm going to put Verts in there, but this is what it's about now. Pick it and stick to it. Don't come in and go, I'm putting too deep now on Wednesday night, I'm putting Verts out there, and now we're opening ourselves up to, Salah being over here, what's he doing? Pick it and stick to it. And you will get the players in. You can get Verts into a 4-3-3. You absolutely can. But someone says that nutmeg on Verts. Oh yeah, that was incredible, by the way. Kamara, that was off the charts good. I don't know if you've seen that keep properly in the ground.
I didn't say it properly, but I did say it. I didn't get to say it. Like
Tuesday night, actually, not Wednesday. I just shout Wednesday for Champions League. It used to be always on a Wednesday. But do you know what I mean? Like that's where he has to pick it and stick with it, and then say to himself, I'm going to drop you in. And in this game, listen, Verts, you're going to go in and you're going to play the McAllister role here. Okay, we're going to drop this guy compared to our own half. We won every single duel in the air, fucking long ball duels. We won them all. We won. We were better than Villa out of all of that. You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's the work rate and the ability to get in, win second ball. We pressed excellently. We did. I
yeah,
thought we
yeah.
pressed brilliantly. I thought we won second ball, held on to the ball better, and we moved it better. And those three things, really, that's it. Look at the team yesterday. And it's not about personnel. Because, well, it can be. If you go back and play that game tomorrow and you put Kirk as left back, I want to see Kirk as inverted into centre forward. I want to see
That's
him.
what I was going to say.
I want to
Why
see
is
him
he
do
not
more.
allowing him to do what Robbo
Yeah.
can do?
This is what I'm saying. And
He's inverting into centre back, and it's
yeah,
not his game at all.
and that's maybe where the point comes where you do drip feed them in and you say, this is what we're doing. I'm going to show you what we're doing now. Right? I'm going to show you with these players and you're going to come in and do the exact fucking same. Because it felt like we're playing this left back and he's going to do one thing. And we're playing that left back and he's going to do another. And then we're going to play this midfielder and he plays different things. Did Villa worry you at all? You know? Because I think if Rodgers, he hits the post, Rodgers does. I think the Marmadashvili one off Matty Cash is a good save. It's a good save he makes. I'd expect him to make it. But if we go 1-0 down there against Villa after 6 minutes, it's not a goal where you go, oh, we've been desperate. It's a good goal. Comes inside, whips one to the far post. But did they worry you? I was a little bit disappointed in Villa.
In game,
Yeah,
didn't worry me at all.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in them.
Yeah, it was a weird one because I thought they had the tools that could have caused us problems. Do you know what I mean? They've got Morgan Rogers, they've got that other winger Gesand, they've got Onana, they've got Kamara, and they're all big units. Do you know what I mean? They're all big lads, physical. They're he's an attacking fullback, and he, can cause you problems. Digne has a great delivery. On paper, they worried me, going into the game, but I just never felt they got into it. And even the chances that they got, as you touched on there, the Marmadashvili, and I thought Marmadashvili was very good as well. Very composed and very good with his distribution.
Well, it helps when they pass it back to his left foot.
Yeah, it's,
Wasn't it mad? Did anyone notice how deliberate they were passing it back to his left foot? There was one in the second half where Van Dijk he turned, and then he looked to play it back to him, and he went, oh, fuck. And you could actually see adjusting his body to play to his left foot rather than his right.
Well, they were doing his warm-up at the start, and he done more right foot pingers to the halfway line than he was doing left. I'd say that was probably just, listen, these fucking dopes are going to forget your left foot. So you'd want to work on that right peg for a while until these idiots learn the score. Well, I thought he was good, but he didn't have that much to do. A couple of saves, as you say. In a match, all it takes is something out of nothing, and, the heads can drop, especially when you're in a run of form the way we are at the moment. So, anything like that, it could change the flow of the game, and I'd say it would have changed the atmosphere in the ground. Do you know what I mean? Because I did hear one or two when it came to about 78, 80, between 75 and 85. A few in the crowd were saying, "Oh, we can't let these get one." The one where Marlon goes through, Gravenberg sloppy pass gets intercepted. They come through, and someone's like, "Oh, you can't give these a chance because if one goes in, the confidence could go." But I never even felt that we looked, like we were susceptible to a goal. Like, Wirtz comes on, right? I agree with you. His pressing, his running, his work rate, very good. We put him on, we had no striker. Like, it was a ridiculous substitution, in my opinion, because we'd no outball, we'd no nothing to hold the ball up. It didn't work for me.
He was put on for the striker.
He was put on for the striker, and it's like, I don't know even when he was coming on, I was like, I don't know how this one's going to pan out. But look, it didn't really work. But he worked hard. He put in a shift. The amount of graft that the Liverpool players put in, because even then, when we had no striker, and you could say in games like that, you're going to drop 10 yards, because you don't have an out ball and you're going to avoid pressure. And Liverpool at the moment don't look like they can avoid pressure. I thought we were comfortable.
I think they actually did invite from about 65.
Invited, but like, it wasn't any concerted pressure. It wasn't pressure that you thought was going to be fucking, a goal is coming. Like, even that chance when Marlon goes through, Van Dijk's just jockeying him, and he just hits one wide. You know what I mean? From from outside the box or close to the edge of the box. It wasn't like they were peppering goal and creating chances. That was just
all their chances were from outside the box. Well, Rodgers in the 5 minutes was about 2.5 inches inside the box.
Yeah.
Everything else was outside the box. Marlon, Cash, Rodgers had another one from outside the box. So, and I think that's what we said last week. Like, so if they score one of those, you said it there, Gav. If Rodgers one goes in, you think, oh, fair play, that's a good goal. There's no like if somebody maybe lost the ball and turned over the ball, you could say, oh look, maybe we could have done better there. But if you can see the goal from outside the box, there's not really much you can do about that. The positive I thought from yesterday is they didn't create any chances other than shots outside the box.
Yeah,
they didn't cut. They didn't carve us out.
Exactly.
No, and the reason being is because when teams carve us open, it's from two things, right? One, they're winning second ball off long balls. Now Villa didn't really play an awful long. They played more long balls than we did. Let's be fair, but teams look to win your second ball and then play from there, and they can get in behind you. And secondly, they're winning the ball in their defensive half or their defensive third, and what they're doing is they're looking then and saying, "Grant, we've been behind because these wankers fucking won't step off us. They'll just step up and hope for the best." And that's why teams were able to open us up. But if you watch yesterday, I thought it was amazing watching the yesterday on about. It was around 75, and Villa come up the pitch with the ball. And I looked and I seen Bradley, Kanate, I actually seen Salah just ahead of Bradley. And then you had Bradley, you had Kanate, you had Van Dijk, you had Robertson, and you Gakpo. And we're literally like in a half moon shape. 6 of them, right? And the 6 of them went, no fucking way you getting in the gaps here. You're not playing in behind us. You want to play in front of us. And then you have McAllister, you Gravenberch, whoever's ended up in midfield. But basically it was like a half moon 6. And then you had the 3 lads sitting there going, come on in here and play if you want. And it was Verts was up at that stage. But it was Liverpool saying, we're going to hurt you now. And this is what I'm talking about. We're made to sit in. Not sit in and go Gerard Houllier levels of shit.
Yeah.
But we're made to go, we're going to half sit in here with these wingers deep. But when we win it, these boys are going to spring from midfield. This fella up front's going to lay it off. He's going to make a run behind you. If it's Ekatike, Verts will find space and kill you. And we're made to do that at times. And we should do it. Let them fucking have the ball. Let them have the ball. And I was really impressed by that yesterday. Really near the end, I was impressed by 2 things. That of all dropping in and finding your line. And the second thing was when we went forward, a lot of people were crying, go for the third. And then they just went, no. Fucking recycle it. Let these pricks chase us now. And I really, really like that from Liverpool in the
got an awful lot of players. Sense. We got an awful lot of players back behind the ball quickly yesterday as well, compared to what we have been doing. It's literally Kanate and Van Dijk and people chasing back. We got a lot more players back around behind the ball a lot quicker yesterday as well. So work rate, I think, was fantastic yesterday compared to what it's been in other games. And you don't want to say it's no secret. I think there's stats and everything going up, like pressing stats and running stats that they had dropped off for Liverpool this season. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see them now yesterday compared to previous games. I think there was a lot more intensity and a lot more running done out and pressing done out of the team yesterday versus all the other games.
Yeah. AJ says there the game was a good 3 points, but Rodgers ran through that midfield 3 or 4 times, the same issues. Rodgers does that to everybody.
Yeah, and he died of death. Like Gravenberch didn't start great, but he grew into the game. And when he grew into the game, the midfield just clamped out Villa. Villa could do fuck all. Like,
yeah, but that's Rodgers' game. What Rodgers does is Rodgers actually stands in these little half spaces when Villa don't have the ball, and they look to get it to him. And do you know what he is? He's a brilliant carrier of the football. He reminds you a bit of and not in the same style of player, but Gino Wijnaldum, because Wijnaldum was unbelievable at it. Wijnaldum had picked the ball up on the edge of Liverpool's box, and before you knew it, we'd have throw 10 yards from their end line because he just travelled with it. And that's what Rodgers does. He's more technical, I think, than Wijnaldum. I think he's more of an attacking threat than Wijnaldum. I wouldn't say he's more technical. Wijnaldum is very technical football.
Very Dutch.
But
very Dutch.
Players, you're never going to control a game completely. A player is going to make a run. A player is going to dart past a couple of players. That's going to happen. But it's how you react. Like if Rodgers ran through that midfield 3 or 4 times, as AJ said, and I don't doubt he did, but if he ran through that midfield 3 or 4 times, Villa should be really creating two good chances off the back of that, and they didn't because Liverpool recovered or held their shape or dropped off and took them start. But it's okay if you want to bring Isak on. Imagine bringing Isak on there yesterday.
Yeah.
Now he's probably not fit. Probably he's not. Even if he is fit, he's not 100% up to Liverpool's speed in terms of what we want to do. And Liverpool are still trying to find their speed. But if you throw that him on there yesterday against that Villa side, you're going, fucking hell, right? Definitely sit back. And this fella, because your man couldn't finish the game. What's his name? Mings couldn't finish the game. He had to fuck off.
He'd only just come on.
He'd come on as a sub and then, lads, I've had enough. I'm out. Good luck. And Liverpool kind of felt sorry for Villa and stood over the bar for a good minute, and everyone just went. It was like the telly had frozen, and then they kind of got going again. But it wasn't perfect yesterday, but the effort and the willingness to be in shape, I thought was absolutely huge. But
well, the thing about it not being perfect, Gav, sorry for jumping in,
No, you're all right,
and
go
on
on.
AJ's point, about Morgan Rogers, like players have come through us loads of times. Liverpool were never perfect under Klopp. Like they were, there was holes there, and teams could get through, but Liverpool would always be just better. After the run we've been on, like it was never going to be a 10 out of 10 performance yesterday, but what we saw was a huge improvement, and especially in that midfield area. That midfield trio, I've been critical of McAllister. I thought he was excellent yesterday. He was fucking brilliant yesterday, actually. Everything, little pockets of space. Gravenberg, I thought started slow yesterday, but he grew into it. And when he grew into it, I think that sort of nullified the Rodgers threat that he really had through the centre. And then Szoboszlai, my Jesus, talk about stats. I'd love to see his bleeding running stats, because the amount of
He was
work he
everywhere.
does is just... He was the deepest of the tree for a lot of it as well. He was picking a lot of ball up off the centre backs and trying to dictate the play. And then the next minute he's up in the box trying to get on the end of them. He's an absolutely phenomenal athlete. And if we can just get something where it works, that we have, these three playing to their strengths, teams will find it harder to come through our midfield, and will find it harder to dominate us in the way they have been. And also the set pieces, Brentford get a goal after a minute from a set piece or whatever, and it just knocks the shite out of you. It's we got through the start of this game. There was no issues, and we grew into it. And look, if we can get a positive
11.2 kilometers yesterday, says actually.
like that's phenomenal work. That's
sweating just
James
reading that,
Milner
fuck's
type of stuff, isn't it? Like he's unbelievable. What a player he is. But like, I just think that will get better. Teams will. We'll always have games where players will be, having space in our midfield. It's just a makeup. We don't have a destroyer in midfield. We have sort of ball players, different type of ball players, but ball players all the same. We don't have an all-out, defensive midfielder that'll sort of snub that threat out. So even if when we're playing well, we never, had that dominance in midfield, players would be able to find space and get through. But I just think we just need to build on this and go in and see what we can do. Now, look, it could be a false dawn, and we could get hopped out of it in the next 2 or 3 games, and it feels like the end of the world again. But you have to look at it and say, a lot of good performances, a lot of better performances, a galvanized fan base, very supportive to the players and the manager. And, if they can just build on that and carry that in, I think we'll see a big improvement. Because look, it's not been a great start to the season. We know that. Even when we won the games, we were slogging to get the wins in the 96, 97 minute of matches. So it's been a really difficult start to the season, and we just need to find that consistency and fluidity then that we know is in the players. And it might take a few hard decisions. It might mean the likes of Wirtz, the likes of Kerkez, Isak have to sit out, or Ekatike, and just bide their time and walk them in. And if that's the case, that's the case. But
yeah, I think you walk them in, but I think the upshot of all of this is that Kerkez, Wirtz, and Isak Ekatike, it's a toss of a coin, because I think Ekatike was good yesterday. They end up in the team. These are players that you've bought to be in your team.
Oh, absolutely.
Make no mistake about it. And listen, Wirtz plays a certain way with Germany. Wirtz played a certain way with Bayer Leverkusen. Wirtz will have to play a certain way with Liverpool. It won't be the same as that
Yeah.
club or that country, but I'm okay. I've been banging on about him being in the team, but I'm okay to turn around and go, you know what? Let's compromise on this. He's not in the team immediately, but when he starts getting in the team, I want him to be in a team this is what we do. You know what I mean? It's like showing someone how to drive. Listen, sit there and watch this for a bit. Now have a little go. Now drive for a little bit longer. Now you're driving the fucking car. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think we need with these players. And forget Wirtz for a minute. That's 100% on Kerkez, by the way, because that was night and day of left back. And that wasn't, honestly, if you put anyone in left back and let them do what Robertson was doing yesterday, you would say, like when you watched Robertson yesterday, I thought that's exactly what Kerkez should be doing. It's 100% what he should be doing. But we seem to revert back something, and maybe it's we have a tendency to do that because they're new and you're trying to protect them, but we're actually not. We're exposing them by changing it for them. Play the way we play and then bring them in. But for me, they should end up in. They should end up with them in the team. What did I want to get on to? I wanted to get on to something there now and I can't think of it. Yeah, going forward. We know it's a good win. We know it's not perfect. The pressing can get better, but it was better, but can get better. The passing, the movement, getting Salah into the game, and he brings so many others into the game as well. So that was a positive. But looking forward, we have got Real Madrid. Tuesday we have got Man City before the international break, and I look forward to these games. But is it do you agree with me on earlier? Is it where Salah has to go? That worked on Saturday. We need to go in with the same here. I'll change the personnel once I'm happy that the role I put them in, they can do it.
Yeah, I think, and you've been saying it for a while, that he needs to pick something and stick with it. The chopping and changing. When you're chopping, and Keith said it as well, when you're chopping and changing formation and tactics and chopping and changing people at the same time, it's just too much chopping and changing. So stick to something and just move around the personnel. I think I'd like to see the same team start again on Tuesday, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think he probably does change Kerkez for Robertson for Kerkez. But other than that, I would have no issues with the same lineup starting, bar that one change. And I know that's Wirtz not starting another game, but we're coming up against the manager that managed them last season, and he's going to know exactly how to take him out of a game. And if he's struggling to get into a game now, or coming up against managers that have never managed them, I just think that Alonso will be able to nullify him if he starts. But I wouldn't be against starting the same team again, bar possibly Kerkez for Robbo. If Robbo can do another 60 minutes from the start, I'd probably go unchanged. But that's obviously dependent on injuries. I've not heard anything on any injuries on anybody coming back. I don't know how far Isak is off. Frimpong is obviously a long way off. Don't know how far Jones is off. I'd love to know how far Alisson is off. And again, Mamardashvili, I think, had a good game on Saturday, but you still want Alisson back in the team as soon as possible. I know there was pictures of him training last week, whether that was full training or whatever. I don't know if anybody can tell us if Salah has said anything about how far off they are. But it would be great to have a strong bench as well, even if we do go in with the same team as started on Saturday. I'd probably envisage, if it was me, one change. Well, sorry, if it was me, it'd be no changes. But I think Slot's definitely going to change it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does in midfield, because Real Madrid play a 4-3-3. They see Tchouaméni. I was just looking at the lineup from yesterday. Tchouaméni deep with Güler and Bellingham in the three, and the two boys wide. And it's a 4-3-3. And I think he'll go in with the same. He might change personnel there. He might do that. For me, I keep saying it. Don't drop us on another fucking formation here on Tuesday night. Just don't. You know what I mean? if that works, go with it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Maybe he felt that I have to do a 4-2-3-1 to get Verts in the team. I'm going to sign him. I'm going to change. I'm going to make me own. I'm going to put my own stamp on it. But he can put his own stamp on this team by, he doesn't have to change formation. But you can absolutely get Verts into that team. Like if you look at your man, like take Real Madrid for me, Keith. Like I'll put it this way, Keith. Right, Tchouaméni, right, is your Gravenberch, right. Bellingham is, let's say, your Szoboszlai. There's no argument to say that you couldn't tell me that Verts cannot go in and work as hard in a 4-3-3 as Güler does for Real Madrid. Because Güler to me is an attacking 10-ish sort of player. So it's all about getting them in and playing them and just knowing their role. That Güler fella probably has to go in and go, I have to work a bit harder here in midfield and I get into the team and I can show myself. So I'm not saying he'll put Verts in there, Keith, but there's ways of getting him in the team and there's ways of keeping him in the team. But it's about all he's knowing your job, isn't it? And it's a good option to have. I just really want to see him in this team, Keith. I think you're going to unlock so much for us.
Yeah, look, I agree with what you're saying there. There's no reason why you can't, face him up against Güler and say, you're going to give not directly face them up, but I mean stylistically and statistically, and say like
you have him and we
there's
have
no
him.
reason why you can't. He's not going to be a grafter. Verts, well, they are both actually grafters, but not in the sense of Szoboszlai, Milner type grafters. You can do that, but I just think at the moment Verts has to play off the left wing. I just think that midfield three that we have there is the way of stabilising the ship if McAllister is coming back into form.
Are you doing that to get Verts in the team, or are you doing that to take Gakpo out of the team?
Well, a bit of both.
I know the same thing happens, but what's your reason on this?
A bit of both. Like, I'm not overly impressed with Gakpo at the moment, even though he is sort of getting goals or getting on the end of things. I'm not. I have an issue all season with Liverpool's wide play, and Salah predominantly has been atrocious, and Gakpo hasn't been much better. And I just think it's never going to be Salah that's getting replaced. So I would try and freshen her up at Gakpo, not all the time, like just in games. I don't think Verts has started a big game yet, has he? Did he start? He didn't against Everton. Did he start against Arsenal? I was up for that as well. I think he's been dropped to the bench in all the big games so far.
Did he start
Chelsea?
against Arsenal?
I'll find out. You was talking amongst yourselves there.
I'm really sure
if he started against Arsenal, he hasn't started one since. And if he's dropped out again against Real Madrid and he's dropped out against Man City, you have to start trusting him at some stage in a big game. And I think it will be on Real Madrid. I think they'll start Kerkez and Verts from the left. I know what Emmet's saying. It's his ex-manager.
He did start against
Arsenal. Hasn't started one since in a big game. Chelsea, Everton, United didn't start any of them. So I just think
starts away in Galatasaray, doesn't he?
No, does he come on in? Does he not come on in that one?
He starts that game.
Started against Atletico.
Yeah,
he starts against Galatasaray. 100%.
Yeah. Starts against Galatasaray,
and he played well against Galatasaray as well. But he's done well. Like I said, I think Verts has done well in games.
He starts
he's
played off that left hand side.
Yeah,
which I.
But you see, you have to factor in here the way a team is playing to put him on the left wing. Like I'd be comfortable in that Verts playing that last night if the team is going to show up and play like that. But if a team is going to show up and look disjointed and get too many fellas ahead of the ball and, centre backs not dropping if they need to, then listen, there's no point in starting fucking anyone, to be fair. Start whoever you want because it's not working. It's not Verts. It's just not the structure, all these different things. Loads of elements have to go into, like we're talking about Salah. It doesn't work with Salah. You think overloading the team with flying forward that suits Salah. It's not. Get out of Salah's way and let him do shit with the ball. That's what he wants. And I'm not going to be as harsh on Gakpo as you, Keith, but I can see where you're coming from to get Verts into the team.
Oh, I like Gakpo.
But I
don't think he's been doing great.
I don't think Verts holds his width on the left. And that was the issue against Palace. he was getting sucked in far too much, and we were wide
I
open.
think he will
down that
naturally get.
right
He's not a
side.
left winger. People say he played on the left wing for Leverkusen. He didn't. He
I
played
floated.
on the left side of it. Two number 10s. He was the left-sided number 10, so he had that freedom to play 10 yards, 10 yards further infield than you would on as a left winger. And there is a big difference, like, but you have to remember, like, Crystal Palace play with a back five, don't they? They play three centre backs and they play wing backs. So, you know, you're not going to get a lot of space in them games. You're going to get space and a bit of time, I think, against Real Madrid. In Europe, you know what I mean? European games, I think you'll have that little bit more time. Premier League is slightly different. I would definitely be starting them in this one.
Right, but I'll tell you what, I'll start them. I'll go with you, but I'm only starting them if your fullback, regardless of who it is, tries to play like they played last night. Because if you have Kerkez holding fucking Virgil van Dijk's hand for the game, you might as well fucking have, you know, Stewart off the Kop standing on the left wing.
Yeah,
because
you need an overlapping fullback.
Wirtz needs to know that when I drift here, right, whoever's left side of that midfield tree, i.e. McAllister and Kerkez, are going to make up the left-hand side for Liverpool a little bit. I'm not asking for McAllister to go out and stand on the left wing, but you know what I mean? When it breaks out that side, McAllister's going to come out and be attracted towards that, and Kerkez is going to be the left back. But if you have Kerkez standing back on to Wirtz, here, give us a shout if you need me, but there's no point.
No.
There's no point.
You have to have, especially if a player's going to drift in and vacate that space on the left wing, you need someone overlapping and you need someone plugging in the holes. And if we can just find that balance, that could be there. And I'm not looking to get rid of Gakpo. Like, I'm not saying, oh, Gakpo, well, Wirtz in. I just think in this game, it would be one that I would do. Again, I've raised concerns about McAllister and Wirtz in the same team in a midfield. I don't think it's going to work. I think they're too small. Gakpo is big, strong, physical. But I just think in European games, I think this is where you can sort of feed him in, get him his minutes, get him sort of on the ball, try to make things happen. And we go from there, you know, and we build her up and we build her up. And eventually, if he can get a few assists, if he can get a few goals, you know, Frankfurt, he gets, 2 assists. Salah should have put one on a play for him to get his first goal. Once he gets those sort of things up and running, people stop talking about the numbers, stop talking about, you know, beating him with the stick of the price tag. He's playing well. If he starts doing that, he'll find his place and he'll find the style that suits him, because he's coming from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. He's 22. He has to get used to the speed and the physicality of it. Like, it's a different world. It's, you know, every player that comes over says it, especially Bundesliga to Premier League. Like, it's a big jump for him. And international Champions League, like, it's a slower game. So when you're playing against a Crystal Palace, a Brentford, you don't see them in, you know, other leagues and in international games. It's a style that's really, really hard to adapt to. So we'll take him time. But I just think this is the game that I think he will get the nod in. And I think he's just waiting on a big standout performance, you know, and this could be it, and it could ignite him. But I just think there's no point in forcing him in and forcing Kerkez in and forcing Isak in. When they're, you know, you build them in, you walk them in.
Aaron says, here, Gav, my mate Gerdy is a steward from the Kop, and he can't kick his own arse. Your theory isn't a good one. Right, well, not that steward then, Aaron, right? Fucking someone else that can't kick their own arse. Sorry, I interrupted you there, but I didn't want to miss that one. Go on.
Yeah, no, Davey T saying, as an opposing fan, I can tell you Gakpo's rated highly, swap you for Gordon. Yeah, and look, again, it's just what you want from your wide men, isn't it? Like, I think we could do with either someone like Wirtz coming in and occupying a space more centrally, or a winger that'll hit the touchline. Like, we've missed Diaz's direct running, and the Salah Gakpo constant just cutting in onto that stronger foot is too predictable at times. So even if you're going to have a right footer out there like Wirtz, I would have him, as I said, playing 5 yards further in field and finding them little pockets of space. And if you can find them little pockets of space, how many chances has he created that we haven't taken? I mean, he put one on a play for Salah and Salah hit the post. What game was that? I think it was a European one. Was it Atletico or was it? I can't remember. He just rolled it across and Salah smashed it against the post.
Yeah.
He put one through for Isak against Galatasaray, and I think it was Galatasaray. Isak just sort of toe bleeding straight to the keeper. You know, like he's putting in good. He's finding these little pockets and putting in good balls. Even I think the United goal, he's in that little area, isn't he? And he slides one into Chiesa, who hits it across. You know, so he finds these little pockets of space, and I'd rather see him in them sort of areas. So I'd rather have a player like that in there, or a more direct winger than Gakpo at the moment. But look, I'm a big Gakpo fan. Don't get me wrong.
I'd play Wirtz anyway you want him. I'd play Wirtz anyway you want him. But I think when people think of Wirtz in this team, and they think of its fragility at the moment, right? There is a fragility to Liverpool, and you know, even last night isn't going to be could be a watershed moment, but overall, I think it's a good win, things to work on. But when you think of Wirtz in this team, people are thinking, yeah, but does he work hard enough? Does he get back in? Are we going to be left exposed? Yeah, but honestly, you can absolutely fit him in this team, and you can say, and you just have to tweak, maybe what one or two others. I'm not saying change it massively. But maybe if a McAllister or Szoboszlai is in there with him, you say, right, whoever's there with him, you just have to do this a little bit more. Yeah. Don't worry about that other stuff. We're going to take a little load off you and bring it in here. But then Salah might have to do a bit more. And Gakpo might have to do something a bit more. And maybe they all just do something slightly different and do a little bit more of something and a little bit less of something else, and you get Wirtz in. And I think you see it'll come to fruition because, like you say, he picks up some unbelievable areas where he can hurt you. And if he starts getting on the same wavelength as other players, I think they'll be like, fucking hell, this fella is just magic. Yeah. Like, he's just doing it for us every week. Let me see. Have we covered everything? Is that what I just want to talk about before we go? I think we've had a lovely chat there.
Yeah, I would just say Martinez had a fucking stinker yesterday, and I'm not just on the goal. Like, every time the ball went to him, he was like he was going to have a shy hemorrhage. He was just hoofing the ball and inviting pressure, and it was, it looked like it was going to be the way home for us long before we got the goal. But he's just so, I don't know what it is, but he's a lunatic, and I love him for Argentina. I think he's, I know a United fan
that when they were linked to him was having a mental breakdown at the fact that he might be a Man United goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
he's a shithouse. Like, at the end of the day, he's an absolute shithouse.
He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world at penalties. They keep leaving that bit off the end.
That's the key.
That's the only. No, like I know we made that save again. It was Mbappe in the World Cup final, or whatever.
No, Kolo Muani.
Oh, Kolo Muani, sorry. And but other than that, I just think he's hyped up way more than he should be. He's a really good goalkeeper, but he's not one of the best in the world. Probably one of the best in the world at penalties.
Yeah,
because he gets in their head and he's that shithousery at penalties. But other than that, I don't think he's a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Corn reckons he's overrated. John says Martinez, most overrated goalkeeper of all time. He's living off the Argentina World Cup win. He was brilliant for Argentina in that World Cup.
He was.
But
like that, he's a penalty specialist, and the Kolo Muani, that's his moment. You need moments. Players need to look back on their career with moments. He'll look back on his career and he'll say, right, the Kolo Muani save, I won us the World Cup, and the penalty shootout saves in the Copa America, I won us the Copa America. Now, it wasn't him that won the Copa or the World Cup, but they're the final. That's what he won't look back at his Aston Villa, the pass he gave to Mo Salah when an open goal.
They look at World Cup and Copa America winner, and they go, he must.
Can we talk about that for a minute as well?
The Copa America.
Everybody Salah's goal yesterday. Everybody is making it out as though it was like a tap in.
I was.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was on his
right foot. You should hit him
on his right foot, and he actually bends it around Pau Torres. It was a hell of a lot harder than everybody else is making it.
So
I think it was Ashley. What's your man's name? Ashley was played for Swansea. Ashley Williams.
Oh yeah,
made out. Salah will never score an easier goal in his career, and he's already scored way easier goals than that. Yeah. That was a difficult.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not a postcast award job. Like, it was just
no, it's not. But it's not standing on the edge of the 6-yard box and just tapping it in. Like,
it was
still had a lot to do.
He took it quickly, and he didn't, he didn't try to bring it under control. He just hit it, as you say, he bent it in around
Well,
Torres. And
it's funny you
just
say
got it
that,
done
Keith.
quick.
He needs to fucking start doing that more when he's coming across the edge of the box, because there's balls being played across and he just seems to want to take a touch every time
Yeah.
down. He
Yeah.
used to just whip them into the top corner first time.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's get back to doing a little bit of that there, Salah.
Yeah.
I'll just
But he
note
looked
this
it
down.
yesterday. That's
Give
the
him a
thing.
ring
He
there,
did
give him
look
a ring.
like he was.
I'm going to note it down
He's
when I'm
probably
chatting.
watching.
Note it down
He's
there
probably
for your
watching.
email to the club.
If he's in the chat, Mo, just do things quicker.
Yeah.
That's...
And sure,
Can I also say as well?
We're talking about your man Fergus that emailed the club.
Oh, yeah.
that's a
Days.
wind-up account, though. How
don't
does
know.
anybody not
Yeah.
work that out?
I don't know.
I'll be
There's a lot of
sending a
bleeding fans.
strongly worded email, me and Fergus,
No,
about Salah not
stop
hitting
with
the ball
lads.
first.
That was your man. That was like that's the fella that in his bio says he lives in the UK but spent €1,000 on flights to get to Anfield. Lads, when you get
is
a
it?
break.
He has
Come
an
on,
Irish flag in his name.
Yeah, and he has down as his location as the UK. That was only a bleeding mess.
No, I don't know. There's a lot like that. There's a lot of fans who sort of put their heads, loads of little meerkats have put their heads up out of the blade about the parapet and shown at their colours recently.
Yeah, but shown that they haven't a
Ferguson.
fucking clue.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we always, like up until recently, we always do that in League Cup games. It's always been the, I'm trying to bring the young fella across to his first game. I'll get you a League Cup ticket, man.
Yeah.
No hassle.
Yeah. You mightn't know any of the players, but it might be a good night.
It's like bringing the kids the pictures and you just go, we'll start them up on screen 7 because it's tiny. You don't want to overawe them by screen.
Subtitle.
You know what I mean?
Bringing this to see life is beautiful.
Nice Dutch number. You know what I mean?
I don't want to build you straight up to an Avengers or anything like that. Be a bit loud.
We're
going to go and watch a little
dubbed over David Attenborough. Right, relax.
A little Polish art house film just to get you, just to get you into the swing of it.
There you go.
But can I also mention? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Class Watch says the Coppish boys went early. I'm all, please tell me the Coppish boys didn't fall for the fucking the Fergus fella, did he? Because the gas thing is, if you look at that, one of the quoted tweets me is another account. That's another fucking fella. That's exactly the same. It's like his burner. It's amazing. Anyway, and then you're on Twitter, taking Twitter seriously, which is mad. They went early on slot out. Well, listen.
Look,
I'm not getting into that.
I'm sure it doesn't surprise me. Some of the boys.
Yeah, Callum and the boys don't seem like
Callum's usually more level-headed, drifty, and then Matt would be in the middle. Look, a lot of fans. I think a lot of people are. Though I've seen a few other big. I like the Coppish lads. They're all sound. I've seen a lot of big Liverpool, talking heads have been saying a lot of that stuff, and I think people forget. Fans have short memories. That's what I'd say.
Davey T. Clearly he's being put up to this by one of you. He says, big up the Gateshead, beating Wimbledon, keeping the Northeast flag flying this weekend.
Davey T. If only you knew. So we'll tell them. We'll fill them in.
If that's only a coincidence, that's mad.
No, that's his coincidence.
It's a coincidence. Davey's a northeast
so
man.
Let me tell you what happens. We have a group. We pick a team every week. There's 11 of us. We put a bet on every week, and we see if we can all pick a winning team. And we have a kind of a mini league going as well. So if your team wins, you get 3 points. If it loses, -1. If you get a draw, it's 1 point. So there's a mini league going on as well, just for pride. And that probably takes over rather than the money. And yesterday we all put a bet, and I was like, I picked Wimbledon. And the lads were like, Wimbledon? I was like, yeah, Gateshead. Don't worry about it. So we have this thing where we're like, I've done the research and everything, And I got fucking hammered yesterday over it. And I was like, these cunts must have Hans Sagers in goal. Hold on, I give Sam a man a ring there. Tell him to get the boys to sort this out. So, Davey T, fuck you anyway for putting that in.
Gav's had a terrible time over Gateshead.
Yeah, so there you go.
Can I just bring up as well?
Do you know how bad it got?
How bad did it get?
If your team goes 2-0 up, you get an early payout, an EP as we call it. And fucking yesterday, the lads, Gateshead went 2-0 up, and all the lads were in the group. Reverse EP for Gateshead. I was like, fuck off. Don't need this shit. Anyway, Wimbledon are on the fucking blacklist now. Gateshead, best of luck in round 2.
You weren't the only one. You weren't the only one that let us down. Luckily for you, Bertie also threw in a stinker as well. But other than that, we Monaco.
I'm
Other than
Napoli.
that,
Nearly had Napoli.
Yeah. There you go. So there's three
we
teams.
we
but-
get a lot right. We hit the post a few times in these accumulators, but Gav got lashed out. Once the lads are like, "Are you picking FA Cup fucking second round or
Yeah.
whatever it is, or
Someone
first
said to
round
me.
games?"
Someone said to me. He literally went in alphabetical order in the FA Cup. He said that is the laziest of picks, but it wasn't. I just thought he could win, but he didn't. So there you go.
And they let you put out your misery early as well.
Yeah. Go on. What were you going to say before?
I was going to say, did anyone see it online? I just want to give it. I don't like calling out fans, right? But Aston Villa's fans are a gang of shits.
Right.
Do you remember we went to was it Firmino's last game? It was against Villa,
Yeah.
and Emmet, you were sitting beside
Me and
Lanny
Kev.
Road.
Yeah.
You and Kev, and they were mouthy and
Scum.
lippy. Loads of that again last night. There was videos I seen circulating of them singing, the poverty stuff and all outside the ground.
Uh-huh.
It's just
They're
when you
from
hear
Birmingham.
I
Aston
know,
in Birmingham.
I fucking flew from Birmingham and I went through it and I'm like, this isn't the Oasis you think it is. It's
This isn't Monaco, lads.
yeah, exactly. It's sad when you hear that, and I know a lot of them don't even understand what they're singing about. They hear.
Well,
that
I
we're
actually
singing
think
it
some of
and
the
they
worst
believe
fans at Anfield are Wolves, who are from the same
it.
area.
Yeah,
I
same
think
here,
Wolves
same
fans
neck of the
are
I
woods.
had a run in with them as well in the same seats.
Yeah.
So
Literally the last seat
Yeah.
before that ribbon that goes down between you and
The security barrier.
yeah.
Yeah, hold me back. So yeah, there you go. Class Watch says same with Wolves fans. So yeah, no, I think Wolves are some of the worst that have been at Anfield. But you don't like calling them out, but you're calling them out, Keith. Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
going to call them out because it's not, clubs like Aston Villa are the big club. Wolves aren't a big club. Aston Villa are. They should have a bit more about them, in my opinion. But it's just like I said, bigger clubs than them do it as well. But it's just when you hear it, it's like just call it out and say fucking Egypts. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking Egypt. Davy
Silly
Lee says
billies.
Birmingham twin with Beirut. Might not be that far, but look, I don't know. Maybe they just get ahead of that station. I'm not too sure. Write that down, will you, for the email we're sending to Villa.
Sorry, yeah.
Write that down, make a note of that. And if Unai Emery is watching, if you need any advice, but we've literally turned Liverpool around our own since last Sunday.
He's very high. He's a very angry man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very hyper, isn't he?
uptight or something. What happened to him with Szoboszlai? Because again, I was on your side.
So what happened was the ball went out for a throw, and Szoboszlai had it, and Bradley came over to take it off Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai, acting the prick, walked onto the pitch with it, and kind of dribbled around Bradley with it, and went onto the pitch with it at his feet. And then Unai Emery ran onto the pitch to try and get the ball on, and he just dribbled around him at walking pace, like walking football. And then the ball went back to Bradley for the throw in, and he booked both of them. He booked Szoboszlai and thing, but it was gas. Sorry. Aaron says here, Gav, my mate Gerdy, the steward, does a lot of work for charity. I have to give him a positive shout out. Yeah, he cannot kick his own ass, but he does work for charity. So listen, whichever one you want to go with there, I go with the charity one. Let's look at Gerdy in a positive way. Okay, he is the star of this show tonight, but yeah.
Will I give him a mention? I think I give him a mention.
Put it in the email.
Put it in the email there. Send it off to the club.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to email the club every week with just little suggestions, tactical stuff.
Just let them know what the things we can see that they're doing wrong.
Quid for Gerdy, few extra quid cash now. None of this fucking taxing them. Give him a few quid cash to Gerdy. Meet him around the back of the cop out again, a little envelope. There you go, bud. And on his way. So there you go. Class Watch says, got a shout out, man, that's really safe from cash. Good save. I would have been disappointed if it went in, but it was a good save.
Deflection, you know what I mean?
Yeah, deflection it was a good save.
Good save.
But just on Emery, Emery looks like he's his body is constrained, but he's hyper.
Yeah.
Even when he got at one stage he was telling them, "I'll get up the pitch on a counter attack about 10 minutes from the end," but it was like his arms don't do enough for him. It's you have me now. You see, you've mentioned something now, and I'm not going to be able to get away from that.
Yeah.
Well, and now I'm just going to struggle over that. There you go. Someone asked, did anybody see Trent's interview in Spanish? No, but clearly, if Rosetta Stone has worked by the sounds of it, if he's lashing out of it in Spanish, and And Aunt Dicko says the interview, the fellow's ego is massive. I'll leave him to it. It's not here. Ricky says, I'm from Birmingham, lads. Not all of us are inbreds like the Villa Wolves fans up the Talkin Kop. We never said anyone was inbred.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's you, Ricky. Listen.
Yeah.
Write that down.
And Birmingham.
Write
yeah,
that down.
email.
I love flying. I love flying into Birmingham. There's a lovely little shop just across the road from the.
What's it? It's a Boots.
From the train station.
It's a fucking
No.
You love a Boots.
It's for your breakfast.
Oh.
It's across the road from the train station. Lovely breakfast.
What's the name of it?
I don't know what the name of it is. But
there you
it's
go.
right across.
Point
It's
the
literally
there.
walk out.
Ricky, if you can help us out here and let us know, because Emmet is no use whatsoever.
So if you walk out, go on, Emma, tell us before we go.
Walk out of the train station. Couldn't tell you what the train station is called, and it's just on your right hand side.
Central, I'd say it's called.
No, is it the airport train station or is it New Street? Like where?
No, I think it's New Street. Yeah.
Abel reckons it's Ann Summers you're talking about. Yo Cool reckons it's a McDonald's.
I have been known to shop in Ann Summers.
Yeah, there you go. Ricky says, I am saying it, not you boys. Yeah, you can say it if you want.
Yeah.
Does it sell deodorant as well, Emma? Says Ashley. Because Emmet loves getting off a plane and going, right, deodorant.
You can't bring deodorant. Like,
you can now. You can now.
What, on a plane?
Fly.
But you have to watch out because some airports you can't bring it back. So that's where the...
well, I don't mind not bringing it back. No.
Emma boys...
Gav, come here. Can I just say this? Gav slags me every time we land in Liverpool.
Yeah.
We get a taxi into the town. We get dropped off at the same place. We go in and have our breakfast. And then I'll go, right, we're going to go to Boots. And he go,
I do the exact same.
Oh, for fuck's sake, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Whose deodorant does he use all weekend?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, do it on your own time. Don't do it on mine.
So he wants you. You want him
what
to...
he does is he sits and has his breakfast, and you come out and we go, right, we get a taxi up to where we're staying, right? And we walk around to get a taxi, and just as we turn taxis inside, and you go, what? Oh, I'm gonna go to Boots, and that does my fuck. I'd rather if he said to me, I'm leaving the breakfast table, I'm going to Boots, and I'll come back to you. I'll sit and have a pint. But I end up standing outside the blob shop. It's not even open yet. And this prick's in Boots buying fucking Neutrogena hangry.
You know it's early when the blob shop's not open.
Yeah, exactly. That's how early it is. Do you know what I mean? But no, he buys a big fucking 2 litre bottle of Sure. And we just spray it everywhere for 2 days and then fuck off home.
I do be the exact same. Straight away you get in, have your brekkie, then... In fact, I went with Emmet one time and we went looking for deodorant. Couldn't even fucking get it.
How did you go? Did you enjoy it?
It was great, yeah. It was great. I think you were moaning about it as well.
It's great to go because he knows where everything is. He knows where everything is. And he ranks the Boots he goes and all that Boots down there and such great Boots.
Well, you see,
and the toilets. If anybody wants to know anything about toilets in Liverpool.
The best toilet in Liverpool is the Holiday Inn on Lime Street.
Just opposite Lime Street,
Just opposite Lime Street. The Holiday the disabled toilets in the Holiday Inn is there. If you want to go right up there, he said it's
the disabled toilets just at the top of the stairs.
Although we were in a pub recently, weren't we? And you said these toilets are whopper in there. Oh, it was in the Hayward Hotel on Duke Street.
Oh, in That was
nice.
They were spanky.
They were nice.
Yeah.
You should do a pod about this. Like a little travel segment.
He fucking ranks it.
I always need to know where the closest decent toilet is. I won't say where the bad ones are. Because the bad ones are probably in the best pubs.
Yes.
That's it. Exactly. 100%. 100%.
And funnily enough, the best pubs for Guinness.
Yes, exactly. The Halyard was the name of it. It's on Duke Street, isn't it?
It's just opposite the
Monroe
place. Yeah, the Monroe, yeah.
There was something else. Yeah, if you're in, he knows all the oils and all. Emmet once brought me, and I swear to God, Emmet once brought me to what he described as the best ATM in Liverpool. And that's the fucking truth. And don't even try to deny it.
The best ATM in Liverpool.
Yeah, genuinely. I went, what's so great about it? He said, it's deadly. And I went, okay. Anything but fucking Boots at this stage. And you know what happened then? We walked down to it, it was gone.
Email, put that in the email. See what the company do.
It wasn't even a bank branch, it was like a fucking building society.
The co-op or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, stuck to the edge of it. And then he goes, there's just one over here. And there was literally 2 fellas, a girl and a fella. like lock drunk, 8 o'clock in the morning. There was cans, full
Cans rolling
rolling
down
down
the
the street, and we're stepping over and going, "Get out of my way, you! Will you? I need fucking the few quid sterling." And I was in terrible form then. Even the
Aye.
even the lads in the cans weren't even looking to go. We might fucking get a few quid out of him. Nah, they just looked
Keith,
at me and went, "No,
let
I'm
him
not
go.
dealing with him."
Not today.
There you go. Paul asks, "How's Shawnee settling into his new digs in Spain?" Brilliantly. He's having a
Better
lovely
than
time.
we are in cold, miserable Ireland. And
Well,
anyway,
he's having a lovely time, and we're missing.
Love sending us a nice sunny picture, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he just sends
Fair play to
lovely
him.
sunny pictures fucking every day. Yeah, he's a prick.
yeah, he's a
but,
bit of a prick, isn't he?
Yeah, he's sort. But he
Tell you
did
what,
say,
lads, you should get out of that country. Nice
yeah,
one, Shandy.
yeah. He
Lovely.
left 2 weeks. He left 2
Tell
weeks
us
ago.
when
And he
we're
went,
all bleeding old and have
yeah,
kids.
he left. He left 2 weeks ago, right? And I swear to God, he's gone 2 weeks, isn't he? About 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he messages yesterday and goes, "Tell you something, lads, you aren't living." That's all I'm gonna say to you. So, go fuck yourself, Shawnee. All right, but we'll try to get him back on as soon as we possibly can. We love the man, and we will get him back. I know he's having internet speed issues because we're working, and I'm not gonna say Xbox. His Xbox isn't working as good as he used to, so he's trying to
That's
sort
always
them
a
out.
sign.
And we will get him back on. We will get him back on. Right, that's been it. Anything else before we go, Emma?
No, all good. Roll on Tuesday.
Jono says Shawnee learning Spanish so he can talk to his mate Trent. Shawnee's brilliant at Spanish.
Yeah.
He watches
Shawnee
El
sends us
Chiringuito
clips.
every
Yeah,
night.
sends us in clips of El Chiringuito and doesn't give any context to it. Just Spanish fellas shouting at each other in Spanish. And well, like, what the fuck is going on? Did you hear what he said there? No, didn't catch that one. Loves it.
Anything Steve says the bogs in the Philharmonica are brilliant. That's being closed. I'll tell you what's fantastic about the toilets in the Philharmonic. The stained glass in all the doors.
Okay.
But that's being closed for renovation. The Philharmonica. It's not a great pub. It's a lovely looking pub. It's not a great pub though. But the stained glass in all the windows and on the cubicles and everything's fantastic. Put it down there. Just in your notes, not on the email. Not on the email.
I'm putting it on the TripAdvisor.
Yeah, just TripAdvisor, yeah.
For follow up.
Just email TripAdvisor, go, lads, listen.
Fantastic hotel. Only
up,
200 yards away from the nicest toilet in Liverpool.
Yeah. Just get on to TripAdvisor, go, lads, you couldn't have a no, could you? Just about to hear on the grapevine. Stained glass windows in the fill. There you go. Right. Emma has a really long email to write. He's going to go to TripAdvisor and they're going to go, oh, not this cunt again. Keith, anything else before we go?
Nothing else. All good.
What's the music this week, Keith?
Nah, no music. We won't have no music. Fuck music. Music's only when we lose.
Do you know who I listened to a couple of songs of? And the only reason, and this is weird, on one of my feeds, it popped up a clip of the Kelly Clarkson show. Right? Kelly Clarkson, the singer.
Yeah.
And she hosts her own show. And Gloria Estefan was on it.
So
I threw a couple of more tunes on during the week. Just saying. Listen,
Gloria Estefan.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, you might be too proud to admit it, but if you get a quiet moment,
never too proud to admit it.
Stick it in your earpods, bit of Gloria Estefan, a couple of tunes, set you up for the day. So there you go. Right, that's about it. We're gonna go.
What a way to finish.
Yeah, that's been the Sunday night show. Coming this week on YouTube and across our Patreon. Oh, Patreon. Link is in the description. Want to join? People are joining. They're loving it. We're having a lovely time. But across YouTube and Patreon this week, we will be previewing Madrid. We will be doing a reaction extra to Liverpool's win. We will be doing our ref show watch, which is always a good crack. We'll be doing the preview and the reaction to Real Madrid. We'll be throwing another few bits in. And of course, we'll do Man City. And then when Man City's over, we've another fucking international break. And that's when we have loads of fun, especially on Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon, give it a go for a month and see how you feel. We're just being battered with reaction and preview. But we're enjoying it. But we have good fun on that stuff as well. That's it. We're off. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. 24 minutes of it. Back to work tomorrow, you scoundrels. Especially the lad in the cop. Can't kick his own arse, but does lots for charity. Over and out, Gertie. Good luck.